What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at a clip I found where, basically speaking, it just shows some of the BS that I think Uber drivers have to deal with, and I guess this probably isn't like your typical Uber. I mean, I would assume that most people have a little bit more respect, but I would also say that when people are intoxicated or in a bad mood or anything like that, problems like this could definitely arise, and I can just see how, doing things like that when you're an Uber driver working in that kind of industry, how things like this can just spiral out of control, how it can just be obnoxious, sometimes even scary, if it gets pushed over a certain edge. But in this clip, it's just going to be some college-age kids who I assume just got done drinking because, well, I mean, it's going to become pretty obvious here in a few seconds why they probably just got done drinking. Just being assholes, man. Well, not even all of them being assholes, but this is just a good example as to how one person in your group can set a really bad example for everybody in the group, just based off of, their demeanor and how it can kind of make everybody around them look bad because they associate with that person. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the video.
Hello.
Hi there, if I may confirm the first name of the person that called for this ride?
Annie.
Yes,
Hello.
that's correct.
Alright, before we even go much further into this, I want to just go ahead and get it out here. This guy has one of the clearest, most concise, and smoothest voices I would ever expect to hear out of somebody driving an Uber. I mean, Jesus Christ, this guy probably should not be driving Uber. I mean, if anything, like, get this guy navigating a GPS or, like, some sort of navigational app. Pay this dude some money because, honestly, like, the Siri voice and stuff like that, I mean, I don't think that kind of stuff really competes.
How are you?
Hi there. We're 1, 2, what's our count back there? Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Hi there, Annie, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
sir.
you're requested for a 4-seater, but what's our count back there?
It's 4 right here.
Plus Annie in the front, that makes 5.
Alright, so this is where the problem is going to actually arise here. So, the people who wanted this Uber, basically, they have a choice in the app between, like, what kind of Uber they want to select. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten an Uber. I actually didn't even know this. I had to look this up because of what he says in the video, but you can select different types of Ubers based on, like, how many people you have or, like, different things that you want, like if you want a luxury vehicle or things like that, right? Well, these people did not have the right party size to fit in this vehicle. Like, he drives, I guess, like a normal Uber, and they had 5 people. He can only fit 4 people, right? So they needed to get like an extra large Uber or something like that, and they ended up calling for the normal Uber, which was him, thinking essentially that they were going to be able to get him to take the extra person, which is not only against the law, but dangerous to his job as well, because, if he gets pulled over and he gets that put on his record, he could probably get fired from Uber or face some sort of repercussions from the company. So this is where the problem arises.
You've called for me an X. My maximum is 4 passengers.
Yo, I will slide you like $15 right now.
Alright, so here's where the whole bribery thing begins. This guy is like trying to bribe his way into the car. He's probably, I would say, the odd man out of this situation if, worse came to worse and someone had to go. Last one to get in the car, he's the one offering to pay up for his spots, so doesn't really seem too good for him, right? He's probably the one who has to go if anything happens.
Well, it seems Annie requested this, so the choice is Annie's.
That's
I mean,
fine
like,
with me.
I speak for her.
No, we cannot proceed with 5. That's not legal.
Well, okay.
Okay, but here's one thing I don't understand about that situation. I want to talk about, number one, that guy did also, like, try and speak up, and, like, he was like, yeah, I speak for Annie. Number one, no you don't, because you did not pay for the fucking Uber, so you really don't speak for anybody, Then again, you'll understand why this happened, I guess, here in a few seconds, why this guy acted this way and kind of did this. It'll become a little bit more apparent, but number two, one thing I don't understand, I guess, about the interaction between, what's her name, Annie here, and the driver is that he's like, well, I guess the choice is up to Annie because she's the one who made the call. And then she's like, yeah, that's fine. He's my friend. I want him to actually be able to go through with the ride and everything, and I want him to be on and be able to go to the destination. But then when she makes that decision, the guy's like, oh yeah, we can't do that. That's illegal, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I agree with the decision that the driver made. Like, yes, it's illegal. Don't really risk your job or like the safety of people because, of extra $15 at the end of the day, not really worth it. But you should have just said, like, I can't really do that from the beginning, It just didn't make sense. The wording of everything there just didn't really make sense. Like, why even give them the option if you're not going to let them really make the decision?
I mean, it's not legal, but you get caught.
Okay, see, she said the same thing there. I actually didn't even notice that the first time I saw the video.
I'll slide you $15. Like, Just stay on the speed limit.
I'll give you 5 as well.
Just stay under the speed limit and you're fine.
I already Venmoed Annie.
You can't,
I knew this
like,
was about to happen.
They have no reason to pull you over unless you stay on the speed limit.
All right, see, you'll notice, all right? I shouldn't even really have to explain this. I mean, the guy is very clearly intoxicated, and if he's not, something is wrong with him. If he's not drunk, he's on drugs, or he needs to go to a hospital to have himself checked out, because he's not okay. Dude is slurring everything he's saying. He has no idea what he's saying. He's just saying random shit, you know, you just stay on a speed limit, you'll be fine, you know? Because any police officer with 2 eyes and a fucking modicum of common sense won't see the 4 passengers in the back seat of the car, right? This is the guy who ends up being the problem, by the way. Just spoiler alert if you don't notice, right? He's the problem.
Unless, like, you're actually paranoid.
It's not legal. It's just straight up not legal. You can't do this.
I mean, I know it's not legal, but, like, what's the chance you get caught? Like, what's your estimate right now?
I mean, like, I know it's not legal, and your entire job essentially depends on the fact that you stay legal. But what's the chance that you get caught, bro? Like, I'm giving you an extra $15. Like, that's just, it's so fucking entitled. Like, it's a very entitled mindset off the jump, but obviously, he's not in, like, a normal mindset. I would hope that he doesn't act this way in a normal mindset. But then again, a lot of people make the argument that when you're drunk is when, like, your true characteristics show, because the alcohol, I guess, kind of loosens your restrictions. There's no reason for anyone to ever, like, risk their job in an industry like this, you know? I mean, of course, like, an Uber driver, he's not making $80 million a year doing it, but I would assume that in an area where, you know, there's like high traffic and high demand for it and everything, he probably makes a very stable living doing it. So why would he throw that away for this situation? Like, in any circumstance, why would anyone in this car expect that? And in their defense, I don't think anyone in this car except for this guy expects for that situation to happen, but, you know, just to cover bases.
I'll pay you 5 times your estimate.
We're done here.
This guy literally could have said like $87,000 and this dude would have been paying, what, 6 figures just because he said that? Well, obviously he wouldn't have paid that. There's no way he would have paid that. But he asked him what his estimate was that they were going to be caught. Like, he was asking for a percentage. He was asking for the chance of them getting caught. And then he said, I will pay you 5 times your estimate. So you're going to pay him 5 times 40%?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no. I'll get out.
Sheesh.
I got you. I'll get out.
It's too late. He already canceled. There's no point.
Yeah,
You cancel it just because one of us couldn't get in, right?
The ride's canceled.
Alright, notice how everyone else in the car acts except for this guy, right? The woman who set up the call and everything to get the Uber, this is an Uber, yeah, okay, so the woman who set up the call to get an Uber, who realizes that she made a mistake, she's completely polite and respectful the entire time. Everyone else in the car maybe makes a minor comment, maybe questions something here and there, but then this guy, of course, freaks out. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.
Alright, bro, like, I'm sorry, bro, but like,
let's order next. Order next.
Hey, man, you're not gonna make it in this industry if you can't adapt.
Hey, Nathan, shut the fuck up.
You're not gonna make it.
Hey, yo, bro, like, I hate to say it, dude, but like, bro, you fucking suck, and like, you're never gonna make it in this industry if you can't adapt, bro. Starting to sound like Modern Warfare kids, man, telling people to adapt, like, Jesus. Obviously, we all understand why the guy did not quote-unquote adapt. It was very illegal, put himself at risk, put, honestly, everyone in the car at risk. You know, what if they got in like a car accident or something, you know? That increases the risk of fatalities or someone else getting hurt, you know? That would be sad, right? No one really wants to deal with that, so we all kind of understand that, of course, but yeah, he's freaking out. And I love how the friend's just like, yo, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, sometimes it just takes one of the people in your group to just tell you, man.
Shut up. Like, you won't make it, bro.
He keeps telling him like he's a rapper or something. Like, bro, you're just not going to make it in the industry. Bro, you're just not going to make it in the industry. Like, newsflash, dude. He already has made it in the industry. He is an Uber driver, you know? The dude is already doing his job. Like, he came to pick you up. He has already made it in the industry. There is nothing that you're saying that's making any sense.
Kia Soul looking ass. Kia Soul. Nice car, bro. Yeah. 5-star rating? Hell no. 1-star rating, dude. Fuck your ass.
I'm not gonna lie, he kind of got him, you know, Kia Soul looking ass. I can't say much though. Kia Souls, they're not terrible cars, you know, not terrible looking cars or anything. At the end of the day though, I feel like you can't really roast somebody's car, like you can't really shit on somebody for having a car, right? Like that you don't like. if you have to call them and pay them to pick you up? What, do you make fun of doctors who do open heart surgery for using the equipment that you think is wrong? Like, I don't understand here.
We have one extra person, dude. Illegal my ass. Fucking drive.
Sounds like he's about to cry. Jesus, man. Please tell me this dude cried over getting kicked out of an Uber. And no, it's illegal. A car can only legally hold as many passengers as seatbelts. So if a car only has one seatbelt, you can only have one passenger. I mean, that's just how the law works, man. But, well, when you're intoxicated and can barely say anything without looking like a jackass, I wouldn't expect you to know that, so. Okay, so now he is now challenging the Uber driver to a fight, or he is now threatening to fight the Uber driver. And I like how he tells him to freeze like he's a police officer or something. He's like, freeze in the name of the law, or some shit like that. It's like, shut up, please. I mean, Christ almighty, guys. That just, there you go. You see it. Uber drivers, I don't know how sometimes they deal with some of this stuff, because you know that this happens, right? This isn't like an isolated incident that happens, you know, once or twice. This has to happen, like, pretty often, I would say. Just drunk people acting like dumbasses. I can't imagine how often it really happens, but thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on my channel, follow me over on Twitter at @SubToOptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. It's a surefire way to get notifications of all my newest content. Join the Discord down below, lots of great things going on down there as well. Thank you to my channel members, your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus. I guess bullying the Uber driver for not letting in 5 passengers, and signing out.